Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Intrepid League Racing. I will be your host and commentator, Wushai C420, and here we are for the season finale of Season 5 of IRL here in Abu Dhabi. Tonight, as we wait for the drivers to select their tire selections, I was supposed to be joined by Golden here in the comms box, but it seems to me he may have fallen asleep, so who knows what happens tonight. But we are in for a treat tonight. Right now, the biggest story of the night right now is between the McLarens and the Mercedes here tonight. There is a 41-point gap between the McLaren and the Mercedes in favor of the McLaren team. And so will Solz be able to win himself a overall constructors title, or will the Mercedes be able to pull off a miracle? So who knows? We will put on telemetry, put on lap data. Look at tires for right now. Tires are on Solz for everybody right now as we wait for the first driver to head out of the pits. I see a Ferrari and I see Prix and Zizen about to hop on the track. We'll be on board with Prix here for the first part of qualifying. See him as the Aston Martin 2 of, I believe that is Jude. And Zizen also on an out lap. And a Williams too. Might be Hitch. Prix warming up his tires on his out lap. And it is Hitch in the Williams. So we got a few people out on the out laps right now. See a few more too, an Alpine and a Haas. Alpine of Shadow, most likely. No, it's Frozen, who just newly joined this server, and Kazi as well, in the Racing Bull. Another Red Bull Mark out on his out lap. The Red Bull driver going to the team that we're watching right now, Ferrari, pulling a Sebastian Vettel right now, as we will go TV pod, as Prix will be the first one to start an out lap, start a fast lap on the battery. Going into Sector 1. Ooh, keeping it very close to the pole there. Now the Alpine here has to get out of the way. Prix going into second gear, going into the first DRS zone. Battery on. Pretty going into the second DRS zone. Pulls left here too. He's sending the first divisional pole lap. I'll get you Enigma in just a second. There we go, sent one. As we'll watch Prix set the provisional at 1:23.8. Try and click back to watch the Aston Martin. Jude getting in the pole position right now. Zizen taking him again. As we'll watch Hitch separate Jude and Zizen for P2. Trying to flip around. Who's seen those on that out lap? I think the V carb. Kazi's on an outlap here too. Yeah, finishing off strong. Here in Sector 3. Leaky right behind him too. And again, will he be able to overtake Zizin? No, he won't. Slots himself into P4. Leaky in the background takes P4 from himself, from Kazi there. S2 will see Frozen with the 125. There's the Red Bull of Mark. Puts himself into P2. Right behind Zizin. Panda finishing his lap. Will slot himself into P3 for now. Renzi on an outlap. Trying to catch and see. Rennie. Alpine of Shadow. Finishing off strong. Slits himself into P2. Dude heading into the pits. Zizin also heading into the pits. Hitch himself heading into the pits. Trying to catch a... Watching Iceman here on this final lap with the TV pod. As he'll slot himself into P5. Enigma, I sent you an invite, so hopefully you get that. We'll slot in Frozen, be able to Leaky. Maybe starting at lap 2. Frozen able to improve briefly. We'll see B dot heading to the pits. Mark, don't have enough time. Panda going on a fast lap looks to be. Renzi slots himself into P2. But we'll stay on a board with Panda. Enigma back here in the Aston Martin. Panda flying down the first ERS zone. Heading into that hard braking zone. Through the chicane in third gear. Ooh, lifts the bump a little bit. Pumps on the battery. Yes. Panda sitting right now in P5 in qualifying. Cautions in sector 2 and 3. Most likely just cars from getting out of the way. Maybe McLaren going a little slow. The Alpine. Somebody. Alpine of Frozen. Taking another fast lap into P11. We'll see Ferrari with Speedy going on a fast lap too. Panda will just head into the pits. Go on board with Speedy here. In the first sector. That's a purple sector 1. Is he coming for Zizin's time? Who knows? On the battery, DRS opens. Going, brakes. Hard. Able to get a combat first step, chicane. A little left up there at the curb. Able to quickly, rapidly come up back on the battery. And DRS ring opens. The Alpine getting out of the way. Brakes going in hard. Braking, going in the third gear. Around in the hotel. Switching it up into fourth gear. On and off the battery too. Trying to cut across. Will he be able to do something here? As he sets a time. Only be able to get up into P10. As Frenny 2 down on his time. Enigma on a fast lap too. And they're going a little late there in the session. Ooh, Solz. I don't know who I have winning right now. If performance still stands from last night, Z's looking very good to take it here again in Abu Dhabi with his times, but who knows what'll happen. But based off this qualifying session so far, Zizan seems to be the guy to watch. With Franco up there too, Scarenzi. Enigma slots himself into P15 as we wait for B.NASCAR's team, so and Teddy to score a lap. I think getting out of the way. McLaren is that might be B. Heading into the pits. Trying to catch Speedy. Leaky on an out lap. I spin on an out lap. Who's out on a fast lap? Franco might be. No, invalidated. Mark on an out lap. Trying to catch and see. Well, NASCAR here, I know we'll ride on with him. He still needs to set a lap time. Sector 3. One in right here. As there seems to be some deals going on in the NASCAR. Able to slot himself into P16. As we'll see B-Dot here. Seems so too on an out lap. Trying to watch some movement here. Oh, getting a little close there with the Red Bull of Mark. Maybe Screnzy, no, on his fast lap. B.2. As an Aston Martin has spun, it looks to be. We'll head on back into B.Dot. Driver camp. B.Dot. Caution sector 2. Frenzy right in front of him. Both, I believe, are on fast laps. This will be very interesting to see how this unfolds. B.Dot dives in. Yes, McLaren are on top with a 41-point difference between them and Mercedes. As we're on with one of the McLaren drivers, B.Dot finishing up his Abu Dhabi lap. Screnzy going into the pits. What will B.Dot be able to do? He puts it on P3. As Panda down 2. Panda himself will take B.Dot's spot in P3, the Racing Bull. TP. As we'll try and follow along. We'll follow along Speedy here. Possibly on a fast lap here. For now, caution sector 2. Looks like just a bunch of Sauber of NASCAR getting out of the way of a few drivers. Speedy up for 10th. May have bailed on that lap, but we'll watch just in case. Speedy getting cleanly through the chicane. the LP and the Shadow Storm starts the lap. Frenny 2 starts the lap. McLaren heads to the pits. Caution sector 3 looks to be either a racing bull trying to get Frenny will go into the pits. Frozen down on his time though. Dude, is he able to do something? He sets provisional pole at 1:21.5 in the Alpine. Oh, wow. Caution sector 2 cars getting out of the way, but oh my goodness. Frozen rocking the 2 famous numbers now. Going maybe on the second fast lap. No, he's not. Getting out of the way of the Haas. Excuse me. Teddy. The other Haas has not been able to stall lap time, but Frozen on provisional pole right now. Disqualified from the session, going the wrong way. I don't know if Rowe decided to pull a toe mater or something. I don't know, but that has disqualified him, which makes Zizin your pole starter for right now. Oh my word. Rowe decided to go a little toe mater cruise out on track, it seems. Very interesting. So Zizin maintains his pole lap for now. Thanks, we're on board with Teddy there. Oh, invalidated his lap. We'll then head into the pits, as we'll see lots of other people as Panda will retire into the pits too. Coming out track for the last part of qualifying. Ah, he did it on purpose. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. As we'll try and follow. Kazo going for some very interesting off-roading. Probably just getting out of the way of the Mercedes. The Iceman, who's on a fast lap, will stay on board with him. Down a 10th. Could slot himself above Marker Shadow. Oh. Thank you. There we go. All right, there we go. There we go. I did it. Got him. Got him as Iceman finishing up his lap. Puts him up into P7. His mark on an out lap. I sent him an invite. I tried to, best I can. Try and flick through up to Mark. I believe he was on a fast lap. Or Kazio, that's who it is. Kazi. On his fast lap. Let me send Panda another invite again. See if that will hopefully help. As we'll see Kazio down 2/10. Might be able to move up the slots here. As Leek will finish P11, Frenny P12, Teddy P18. As Kazio will be the first one to cross the line. McLaren right behind him too. Might be B-Dot or Zizi, who knows. Kazio finishing up the lap strong. Will he be able to improve any at all? Improves into P9. Trying to flip back to see who falls in. It's Zizin. Finishes in P1. The Aston Martin behind him. Jude finishes in P6. On board with Scorenzi. Mark, his teammate, in front of him, I believe. Mark will finish in P9. Scorenzi in P3. The Ferrari behind him. Speedy able to do something. Stamso up into P13. B-Dot crossing the line. Able to slot himself into P5. As Hitch slot himself into P6. The Sauber of NASCAR, P16. As Shadow into P8. Iceman will sit in P9. But that looks to be your grid lineup, as this man here, Zizen, Poland Tier 2, Poland Tier 1, World Drivers Champion in Tier 2, looking as dominant as ever in the McLaren going into this Tier 1 race. Send another invite to Panda just for safe measures. So we shall see. But Zizen, excuse me, comfortably on pole position. Right now. But it's an interesting qualifying session. Lots of disconnects, it seems, to be here. As getting a look at the drivers right here. Incidents too, getting here for the stream. No pit stops. But here's your grid lineup looking into Tier 1 racing tonight here in IRL. So we shall see until the 5 red lights come on here in Abu Dhabi. We'll wait briefly for the drivers. Giving the drivers time. While we're here on break, briefly, with Zizen now on pole, McLaren looking like they might solidify the overall Constructors' Championship here tonight. But who knows how B-Dot will perform, and the Mercedes of Iceman and Franco. Hitch having some wonderful comments in the paddock too. So McLaren looking very strong going into this Tier 1 race. It's both Lewis and Solz. Little clowning going on in the paddock right now. More stuff going on. Panda finally joining here. Team Smee. Here we go! In Abu Dhabi, the 5 red lights come out. And away we go! Here at Tier 1 Racing, everybody seems to get a clean getaway. Zizen getting away cleanly. Lots of dropping in the order between Panda and Juice, side by side to the Mercedes, the McLaren of B-Dot. Hiding up in there too. Franco overtaking Zizen into turn 1. Caution sector 1. The two are getting away, battling very Screnzy, trying to insert himself on this battle. Franco Locking up there, a little bit of left touch. Oh, little contact, and the Alpine spins. Circling back up the order. Crawling back up, lots of people going wide. As Zizin and Franco side by side. Heading in. Bida trying to do something to help his teammate. Zizin on the inside. 10-second flag penalty. Contact there between Zizin and the Mercedes of Franco. The two going side by side here. Franco up ahead. Bida trying to give his teammates some support anyway. Side by side is the action. Zizin going on the inside. Trying to maintain line. Franco giving him the space. Cleanly as we see race strategies here. Franco dropping Zizin, racing him. Battle. Contact, the two. Going in. Franco overtaking. Zizin contact. And Franco spins. Franco spins the stewards. We have a good look at that. But Scarenzi trying to insert himself here in between the two Red Bulls. Here in lap 1 of Abu Dhabi. But what an eventful first lap that has been. Holy shit. Pardon my language there. But oh my goodness, Frenny with the 10-second time penalty. As we'll keep an eye on this battle out in front between the Red Bull and the two McLarens. Scarenzi looking on the outside. Zizin being able to defend brilliantly. As we'll go TV pod. Back to that. Zizin trying to pull away. Scarenzi defending against B-Dot. Hitch right up there too. Both McLarens defending the inside. B-Dot overtaking the Red Bull. Side-by-side action. This is Scarenzi and B-Dot. Look at this wonderful side-by Hitch, including himself. We are 3 wide here in Abu Dhabi. Hitch going in. Making the double overtake. Scarenzi trying to battle it out in there too. Iceman making himself no contact between B-Dot and Iceman as this battle up in front seems to be getting eventful and more eventful as this race continues. Pulling on and a spin by the Mercedes. Contact in by the Racing Bull of Casio as Iceman falls down the order. This is detrimental for the Mercedes team. Zizin and Hitch going at it too with the Red Bull of Scarenzi trying to insert himself here. But oh my goodness, the two Mercedes drivers are in the back of the grid. This is detrimental to Mercedes. Will they ever be able to mount a comeback? That is Zizin looking strong out in front. But Hitch getting close though. As we'll watch from Hitch's perspective, will he be able to overtake Teddy to the 3-second time penalty? Looking out on the outside. We'll go into this mode. Keeping it very close. The will of Hitch and Zizin. We're getting a good exit between the two. As we'll keep an eye on telemetry to see our battery. Hitch looking on the outside. Zizin defending the inside brilliantly. As little love tap there. Hitch trying to go for the switchback. Will there be something? Zizin with a lockup. Hitch trying to stay on the gearbox of Zizin. Hitch biding his time. As we go and looking on the inside. Going into the final turn. Not able to look at anything. Zizin has the battery, but Hitch looking. Going on the inside of Zizin. The two go side by side. Hitch looking at very close overtake. Zizin for the lead. Scarenzi too right behind him. Side by side with Zizin overtaking Zizin. Scarenzi, will he be able to do the double overtake? Going into the tail end of Sector 1. Caution, Sector 3. Side by side. The Red Bull getting DRS. 2 goes for the move on the inside. And Zizin 2 inserting himself 3 wide. As we see Scarenzi with the Red Bull. Keeping it very nice and tidy. B-Dot being forced out wide, looked to be by the Aston Martin. As Iceman will DNF from the session. Retire in the pits. That might have well just wrapped up the championship for the McLaren drivers. As we'll stay on board here with Scorenzi, as this is only lap 4 in Abu Dhabi, and I'm already losing my voice. Oh my word. Getting a quick drink of water here, folks, as we have an eventful few first laps here at Abu Dhabi. As right now, seems to me McLaren will take the overall Constructors title right now, unless Franco can pull something out of his booty. But keeping an eye on the front grid here tonight between these leaders. Zizen defending, trying against the Red Bull. Doing something here, trying to show his dominance, saying, I am ready to fight here in Tier 1 next season. As Scorenzi looking to defend against Hitch 2, has DRS and has battery. Trying to also stay up ahead with Zizen 2. Will he be able to make a move? Breaking in close. Zizen with a slide lockup. A little close there on the gearbox. There is Scorenzi to the McLaren of Zizen. Ooh, a little bit of oversteer there too. Hops on the battery with the RS2. Leaky with another 3-second with the 3-second time penalty. Scorenzi trying to do something. Hitch trying to stick with the gearbox 2 of Scorenzi. Look at that wonderful shot. Ooh, the Alpine to Frozen there. Had to go wide. We'll do avoiding contact as we see a lovely bird's eye view of your top 5 here. Zizen, Scorenzi, Hitch, Frozen, and B.2 in this P6, and Jude in the Aston Martin here in Abu Dhabi. As, ooh, Leaky, another 10-second time penalty. This group of 6 is who we will watch here. Hitch trying to defend the Alpine. As the Alpine has gone wide, giving Jude the opportunity to maybe try and insert himself up in here for these top 5 positions. As we'll see Franco in the pits. Mark also in the pits too. We'll look at tires here briefly. Yeah, McLaren seems to have won. And McLaren will win the World Overall Constructors title, with Iceman now DNFing too. As here we'll keep the position change too and give you some more room to see this tight battle between the Alpine. Caution sector 3. There's Zizen, Scorenzi, Hitch, Frozen, Jude, and B-Dot. They're trying to do something for his teammate. Hitch going very wide. Side by side here with Frozen. Here, as the battle continuing going on. But no matter what, Solz is a happy, happy man tonight, as McLaren will officially win the overall Constructors title. Leaky will DNF in the pits. Stampso, my boy, with a 3-second time penalty. As we'll keep an eye on this group. Lovely shot, excuse me. We will see. With everybody battling it out. Caution sector 1, where the Haas did retire. Is trying to get you guys some more beautiful action of this race here in Abu Dhabi. Not even at lap 10 yet. This front group duking it out. Hitch. As you see the rest of the grid too, filing out there in the background. Scorenzi trying to size up Zizen in this fight. Here, getting cleanly through the chicane. Hopping on the battery, trying to do something to maybe change what happens here, as we'll see Milan Casio maybe going for a little overtake there. Scorenzi, though, not able to stay up with him. As we'll go to Hitch of the Williams, defending against Frozen in the Alpine. Keep an eye, too, of the battle out in front ahead. Lots of changes battle going on in the midfield. Keeping an eye on this action out front. As Zizen, oh, I don't know what that was. He may have Try to just go to the pits or something. I don't know. That looked very close. There, seriously, have a good luck. As Scarenzi will take the lead of this race here in Abu Dhabi. And several people, too, will head to the pits. Freddie, excuse me, will be in the pits. But this battle out in front here looking very, very close. It's Hitch having DRS on the battery, trying to do something. Who overtakes Scarenzi? He's closing in. Will he have enough? He goes on the inside. Overtakes Franco with the fastest lap. Overtakes the Red Bull. The two battling out. Scarenzi trying. Not able to do something. Alpine and Frozen going side by side here too with the Red Bull. Both on the battery, looking very wide. Going 3 wide here in Abu Dhabi. As Frozen on the outside will overtake for the lead of this race. Hitch drops back into P3. Hitch looking at something probably to try and attack back and gain that position back from the Red Bull. As we see the rears of Scarenzi go a little bit. But Frozen inserting himself here in the Alpine, almost like a Silverstone moment. Through goes Hamilton. Scarenzi losing those tires briefly. Scarenzi we may see Scarenzi pit here in the latter half, but Jude and B-Dot still hanging strong here with this front group. As Frozen now, excuse me, your new race leader here in Abu Dhabi. Oh my goodness. As we'll see Cassie and Teddy pit. And then seems to be a big gap between the leaders and the top 5. And Enigma all the way down to the Ferrari Speedy. Keeping an eye on everything out front here. Jude not looking. Tried to look against Hitch. On that chicane, not able to do anything. Here, Jude eyeing V-Dot, falling behind, but go up in front here with Hitch. Board, Scarenzi tires not looking too good right now. Will this be Hitch's opportunity to try something? No, it won't. Scarenzi locks up here in the meat part of Sector 3. We'll see Hitch trying to do something here in the Williams. Not able to do anything. Jude catching up though in the Aston Martin. NASCAR with a 3-second time penalty. Keeping an eye on these leaders out in front. Looks to be several people going to the pits. Speedy and NASCAR heading to the pits as Jude trying to defend against B-Dot. Hitch, as we'll follow along. Hitch very close there to Scarenzi as Frozen trying to pull away. Hitch closing on the inside, goes and overtakes Scarenzi for P2. Will Scarenzi fight back? Who knows with his tires? Speaking about that, we'll go look at tires right now. Scarenzi on the mediums. Hitch also on the mediums. Your top 3 on mediums. Oh my goodness, why am I yawning so much? Goodness gracious. This has been eventful. Oh, Scarenzi will head into the pits as Jude will take P3. And B-Dot will sit in P4 as this group of leaders getting smaller and smaller until who is going to pit? Zizen trying to fight his way up the order to get back up there, though, too. We'll head back to this other mid-group. Shadow Storm defending against Zizen. And Enigma right now. Zizen eyeing the back of that gearbox of that Alpine. Going side by side. The Aston Martin right behind him, too. Zizen with the overtake. As Enigma not able to do anything, but Zizen able to overtake. The Alpine, as he tries to catch his way up. The Aston Martin looking up ahead. Oh, the Alpine looking very close there on the gearbox of Zizen, going a little wide there too. Will Enigma have the opportunity to overtake the Alpine? He's looking, will he dive? Goes on the inside of the Alpine, side by side. Little contact there between the two. As the Aston Martin will slot in behind the Alpine. Little love tap between the two there. But as we'll see Jude head to the pit, excuse me. Now dropping out of this front group. Frozen maintaining his lead right now by 2 seconds. And here's a brief position change right now. Frozen, ooh, B-Dot. Tires looking a little close there. But here's your total position changes so far here in the race tonight. As we'll go back, we'll drop back in the order. Take a look at maybe some of these battles out back right now as you wait for something out front to happen more. As, ooh, Panda. I believe that is Panda, yes, and Jude coming out in battle. And the Haas of Teddy right side by side. Panda going for the overtake. Side by side by the Haas and the V-Carb. Going down the straight. Jude trying to defend. Panda going in on the overtake. Smashing out the markers. What was going on there? As we're going 3 wide here at Abu Dhabi. Freddie with a 3-second time penalty. The Haas of Teddy looking ahead. But the Aston Martin of Jude on the inside of Panda makes the overtake. I don't know what Panda was doing. Panda decided to go for some little lawn care action there as we see the Haas lock up. Panda with a very interesting strategy. We'll look here, looking at Franco. Oh, contact between him and Stamso. Got the brief of that. Frenny too, forcing Stamso wide there, I believe. No, that's Speedy. NASCAR, this little battle out here back in the rear. The front, as we see, B-Dot taking his pit. Excuse me. Circling up the grid. Trying to see anything. We'll take a look here at the Mercedes of Franco. Here, trying to defend against the Ferrari, Stamso, and NASCAR too. Oh, looks to be, might be some close action between the Haas and the Aston Martin here further down the straight. Keeping it close. Nice and tidy. Throughout that too, clicking back the Ferrari of Speedy, able to overtake the Mercedes. Picasso with the 3-second time penalty. Stamso trying to look. Oh, contact there between the Mercedes and the Ferrari. Stamso on the outside. Might go for the switchback. Heading in onto the inside of the Mercedes. Stamso not able to make the overtake. But lots of love tapping here. Stamso looking on the inside. Franco battling it out here in Abu Dhabi, these two. Mercedes and Williams, as Frozen will pit, as Zizen will retake the lead of this race. Furthermore, we'll go catch up to the grid, front part of the grid, as people are coming out of the pits. As Scarenzi up here in P1, P2. Keeping an eye on all this action. As we'll see, Mark, will he make a move against B-Dot? He's on the battery. Hitch overtaking Panda further up the grid. Looking, not able to do anything. As we'll look here at Panda. And Hitch too. Looking at these battles up ahead. Caution sector 2. Look to, oh, the Aston Martin battling of Jude with Shadow. Here we'll see Zizen comfortably in the lead, though. As we'll see Frozen try and catch up with Scarenzi. Here, Mark with the 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. But lots of action there in the front. As Frozen seems to be looking ever so close to Scarenzi. DRS opens. Frozen looking on the outside of the Red Bull and overtakes him, trying to keep it on track. Oh, that looks very close here between keeping it on the track and not, but stewards may have a look at that. Who knows? Circling back down the grid, we'll see Hitch here. Battling it out between with Teddy. Teddy looking and overtakes Hitch. On the straight, Hitch not backing down, fighting back for the position for P5. 2. And it's Teddy, 3-second time penalty for going wide there, as the Alpine of Shadow and Panda seem to be duking it out here too for P7. Ooh, Panda going on the inside of that Alpine. Makes the clean overtake. The Alpine losing its rears, heading to the pits with B-Dot right behind him. Here too, Shadow with the 3-second time penalty. 2. Keeping an eye on Stamso here, and Franco, and Speedy, excuse me, goodness gracious. Yeah, that was what was strange. Stamso here. Looking ahead. Ooh, the McLaren of B-Dot looking at Panda, the V-Carb. Panda not able to really do anything after that, as the two will go almost side by side into the chicane. Panda trying to do something here. Will he be able to make the re-overtake? Probably not, as he's slamming it on the battery here. As we'll see Stamso in this battle of 4 here in the back of the grid, but for Stamso, Franco, Speedy, and Enigma. Looks like. Ooh, Speedy and Enigma. A little lumped up there on the inside there by Enigma and the Aston Martin. There, Frozen with his fastest lap. But Enigma, 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Speedy looking for something here. Franco trying to just recover what Speedy with the 3-second time penalty, trying to recover something for Mercedes here tonight. Too, with that horrible start between the drivers. Oh, our board. But Zizen still comfortably in the lead. Frozen, though, catching up to him, though, too. As we see Casio now, who Stamso and company have caught up to. Looking back at this little group here. The Aston Martin, too, looking of Enigma. Looking very close with that wing shot. Dude, the Mercedes losing his wheels. Zizen with the 3-second time penalty. Interesting. You typically don't see that from him. As Enigma goes on the outside, but goes wide. And allows Speedy to get something here. As we'll see Zizen head to the pits Looking at his teammate here too. B-Dot up the order. Trying to get some more points for the Mercedes.
Franco with a 3-second time penalty.
B-Dot on the gearbox of that Haas. Makes the overtake against the Haas of Teddy. His teammate in the background too. He also has DRS, so it's able for him to get away. Dude, Teddy not really able to do anything. Looking further down the grid for something. Enigma. Very interesting knowing why there, but Stabside tried to stay ahead of the Ferrari and Aston Martin. Two as we head into the chicane in Abu Dhabi. We'll get a little light there on the curb. As you see, rocking the beautiful Gulf livery as we get a wonderful shot of that. So, it is Panda with a 3-second time penalty. Seems to be some action maybe going on here between Mark and Frenny here. Freddy. Or Mark just letting him through. I can't tell, but two drivers in the back of the grid. Duking out Mark on the inside of Freddy. The two go side by side. To Mark able to overtake on the outside of that. Ooh, Mark squeezing. Mark going wide a little bit. Frenny too trying to go over the switchback. Trying to stay with Mark. His tires, though, are worn. He won't be able to do anything and catch up, but we see few people heading into the pits. Caution. NASCAR retires from the session in the pits. As we'll watch and see Zizin making a beautiful overtake against his teammate P-Dot. P-Dot most likely letting him through, trying to compete for more points and to maybe show his domination here in Abu Dhabi. But Zizin now ahead. Does have a 3-second time penalty, though. So will that affect the finish? Who knows? We shall see. Briefly, we'll look more into the back of the grid here as we may see some overtakes here. As we see Shadow defending against Jude.
Here's Jude looking close. Oh, excuse me.
My goodness. Very closely, the two battling it out. Jude sticking to the gearbox of the Alpine. Alpine losing those rears a little bit there. Tires seem to be give or take the same, but Jude trying to stick up as we head into lap 20 here of 29 in Abu Dhabi. Near the tail end of the Ferrari. The Frenny defending against Franco. Here, Franco looking on the inside of the turn. Franco able to make the overtake against the Ferrari. That's Frenny. But those two seem to be duking it out very close there too. Hitch and Scorenzi seem to be battling it out on the front of the grid. Hold on, we'll catch you that. Scorenzi looking very close. Those hards. You'll see Hitch with a brief lock up there in the chicane. Scorenzi trying to do something here. Jude overtaking the Alpine for P8. We'll see Scorenzi here trying to catch up to Hitch as Frozen taking a clean. Ooh, Scorenzi losing it there for a brief second, allowing Hitch to get out of DRS range. And we'll go back to this little battle here in the midfield with the two Aston Martins, the Ferrari and the Alpine. Until we see that Scorenzi gap against Hitch go within DRS, as it definitely does on the straight. Franny with a 3-second time penalty. Maybe we'll see an overtake here on this next straight. Here by Scorenzi. Maybe. He hops on the battery. Getting a wonderful shot of that Japanese livery by Red Bull. Not able to do anything. Going back further down the grid. Franny in trouble of the Aston Martin of Jude. Jude pretty speedy going on the inside of Jude. Trying to go over the switchback. Speedy not able to hang on. The Aston Martins are getting away. Jude, Enigma. Oh, and the Alpine 2 of Shadow on the inside of Speedy. Alpine 2 will switch as Jude ends up in the P6. Teddy with a 3-second time penalty, but looking very close is that Ferrari against the Alpine. Let's go and the Aston Martin of Enigma goes wide. As he'll do, Speedy will go into the pits, but looking further up the grid, Scorenzi has DRS, but doesn't have the battery though to catch Hitch. So I don't know if he'll be able to do anything. As McLaren, we'll watch the McLarens here.
Try to do something. Shadow.
Battling against Enigma on the inside. Contact between the two. As the Alpine will be let through. But side by side. Well, on the gearbox though, is Enigma 2. Shadow going on the outside. The two in the braking zone, keeping it nice and tidy. The two, the Aston Martin. Ooh, little left out there, probably on the front left of the Aston Martin to the Alpine. But the Alpine of Shadow on the battery. No DRS though. Trying to get away from the Aston Martin. The Aston Martin looking. Goes a bit on the inside. But the Alpine able to get away as Panda trying to join the battle here between these three. But looks to be two Z's and two getting close to Scorenzi. Here, these two both are World Drivers Champions here in the league. Battling out in Abu Dhabi, as everybody wants to see here in Tier 1. Zizin, who has improved drastically this season. Scorenzi with a lockup. Looking against the Red Bull. Trying to be able to get more points for McLaren. Looking, getting the slipstream, overtakes on the inside of the Red Bull. Now keep in mind too, Zizin does have a 3-second time penalty, so will he be able to pull away from the Red Bull to be able to secure that podium position and pull a Lando Norris essentially in a way, if you think about it. If you know, you know. But Scorenzi trying to look to battle up against the brawl with these two right now, but the battle between the Alpine and the Aston Martin and Panda too. Looking mighty close. Zizin goes a little wide. There, giving Scorenzi maybe an opportunity here to try and do something, but those hards are worn in the latter half of this race. Trying to get some water while I can. But Panda up ahead. Seems to be in that battle between the Alpine. Yes, Panda up ahead. I don't think Zizin has a chance. He's got 3 seconds. I mean, he's got to overtake Hitch by a lot. He's got 6 laps to do it. That may be the story of the night. Can Zizin somehow pull a win out of his booty with the 3-second time penalty? Here he has got to lock in for the rest of this race. But the Alpine have frozen comfortably ahead by double digits. But Zizin, as we watch him right now, as we'll see a safety car. We will see a late safety car as Freddie DNS. Oh my goodness, this has shaken up the race. The leaders all are behind the pit lane, so will we see everybody go on sauce as we'll look at the tires. This is a lifeline, as we'll see Frozen go into the pits. BDOT drive-through penalty for speeding underneath the safety car. Oh my goodness, MJ in the chat too, as we'll see almost everybody heading to the pits for some fresh softs, as this safety car may have just given Zizan a lifeline in the pits. Who knows if who will get on the pits. Frozen will get on the pits first. Hitch opting to go for the mediums instead of the sauce. Interesting call, but circling the back of the grid, everybody most likely coming in for those fresh soft tires to try and get some sort of resemblance of traction. It's everybody will be heading into the pits, as we'll see Speedy, Fernie's teammate, decides he will just stay out for the track positions for the Ferrari and the overall constructors. So this could be interesting for Speedy. Speedy, his mediums are only 3 laps old though too. The sitting at P9. But Speedy, Enigma, and Hitch all opting to go for the mediums for this safety car, as keeping an eye on Zizan here, who has an opportunity to pull away. Hitch on the mediums though, so tire advantage to Zizan, position advantage to Hitch, but Frozen, who just joined today, up in P1 with the fresh softs. Will he be able to maintain the lead of this race as we head into the final parts of this very eventful Abu Dhabi Grand Prix here in the beginning, as it has picked up here at the tail end of it too. Fernie, I don't know if he is Sonny Hayes or not, but it may not be a red flag, but it's a safety car. Might be a little Sonny Hayes action here, seen in IRL, who knows, but as the safety car will stay out for another lap, too, as the rest of the grid sets up. The leaders warming up those soft tires of Frozen, Hitch, Zizan, and Scorenzi, your top 4 right now, who are with the safety car. MJ very, very happy that Alpine looking at the front of the grid, though, too. So we shall see here, folks, in Abu Dhabi, what will happen as we wait for the grid to catch up. Maybe the safety car will head in this lap to allow our drivers to race. But Hitch warming up those tires. But everybody else, you see everybody else there in the background too. But they're Frozen in the lead, rocking the 2 famous numbers that these kids nowadays are saying. I'm not going to say it. But with the rest of the grid catching up, will the safety car go in this lap? Probably not, is my guess. Probably will go in at lap 27. As we shall see what happens. And it looks to me the safety car will most likely not be in this lap, unless for some strange reason I am completely wrong. But yes, most likely we'll go on to another lap. Here in lap 27, we'll have 2 laps to decide the winner of this race, as the rest of the grid seems to have almost caught up to. We'll keep the action out up front, as we definitely will see the safety car come in after lap 27 here in Abu Dhabi. Folks, get your popcorn. Go use the bathroom right now. Do it very, very quick, because these next 2 laps are about to be some of the most entertaining laps in IRL, as we finish off here strongly in Abu Dhabi. Oh boy, I am so excited here in the comm box right now. This is about to get entertaining. Oh my goodness. As we get ready for the safety car to head in this lap, most likely. But everybody knows the tires now. Here's your position change briefly before we go green. And the safety car will head in. So, safety car will be in this lap. We'll hop into the TV box of Frozen. 10-second time penalty to Gazio for the severe collision with Franco. As Frozen controls the pace right now. As we'll wait and see if the rest of the grid will be able to catch up with him as he decides to launch. But this is... oh, my adrenaline is pumping right now. As Frozen patiently waiting, biding his time. As he decides we're going to go as we go here for the final 2 laps here in Abu Dhabi for the Grand Prix. Looks to be Alpine of Shadow looking very close there too. On the inside of Panda, the 2. Panda being forced wide. Circling back up to the front of the grid though. As we'll see, Zizin will be the man to watch. Can he do something here with the 3-second time penalty though? He's on the better tires than Hitch. Using his battery. The DRS will be available on the last lap. So who knows what'll happen here. But keeping in action, he's getting close onto Hitch. Hitch with a lockup there. Zizin trying to stay close to the Williams. Enigma and Teddy there in the Haas. Battling out Speedy too. Improving up to P9 for Ferrari. Frozen though pulling away. As Zizin and Scorenzi B-Dot too overtaking the Red Bull. 2 battling it out there. Scorenzi looking, trying to do something, keeping an eye on that while trying to watch Zizin. Both that time penalty, so who knows. Scorenzi though looking on B-Dot. 2 trying to catch you all the action here. Frozen will lead on this final last lap. As we'll just stay along with Zizin here. I don't know if he'll be able to maintain P3. He goes wide. Well, no, he'll be able to maintain the podium position with the time penalties, I believe. But Casso with the DNF too. Teddy heading to the pits, most likely the DNF too. Keeping an eye. We'll keep an eye on Zizin. Zizin on the battery, trying to do everything he can to catch hits. He's closing in. Looking on the inside, little love tap contact. Goes to the inside of the 2, keep it clean. The Williams losing, Zizin trying to go for the switchback. Here on the final lap here in Abu Dhabi. Slams on the DRS. And the battery depleted, trying to catch the slipstream. Hitch defending brilliantly on the inside. The 2 go side by side. Zizin trying to do something here, not able to make the move. Zizin on the battery. As we try to catch in, Jude, 2, making some moves there with the Aston Martin, but Zizin not able to do anything, as we'll see. Frozen will be your Abu Dhabi Grand Prix winner. Hitch, P2. Zizin, P3. Jude trying to make something happen out of nothing. Will take P4, but Scorenzi will take P5. Shadow, P6. Panda, P7. Speedy, P8. Franco, P9. Enigma P10, but folks, your overall Constructors champion is McLaren. And Alpine there, frozen, just joining the server today, getting very much winning the Tier 1 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. You see the wonderful podium celebrations. Hitch getting a podium for my Williams. Way to go. And you'll see Zizan up there on podium, having a stellar drive in Tier 2, finishing on the podium at least. Wonderful podium celebrations we're seeing live here in Abu Dhabi. But what a first couple opening laps that is in the safety car at the end. Who knows what would have happened there. But clean sweep by Frozen for all those statistics. As here's your final placement right here. Final grid. Several people leaving the teams that they will. Lots of drivers and their tire strategy. Here's some incidents too. Making sure to get this all for the as much as possible. Lots of them going on too. And then pit stops too. But folks, that'll do it for us in Season 5 of IRL. I have been your host and commentator, Woo Shiesty 420, and we'll see you for Season 6 in IRL in February.